So I just wanted to make this video to show you how to create the low poly image on Pixlr. So if you haven't been in class for a while, this is a good refresher and update. So first, when you start working, you're going to want to create a new sketch. When you click create a new sketch, you're going to go over to untitled and you're going to title it low poly. And you can see I already have a bunch of them. I'm going to make mine low poly 5. Then I'm going to turn on the background. Just click that. And I'm gonna press create. So it's gonna bring me to my work screen right here. And this is where everything that I make kind of happens. The areas that we're gonna be working with is this thing right here, which is the layers. So the first thing we're gonna do is import our image. Now, when you're going to import a layer, you go to this little plus sign and there's a lot of different things that you can import. But if you click plus, it's gonna give you the option to choose, and we're gonna import an image. All right, for my design, I'm using Frida Kahlo. And what I'm going to do first before I do anything is I'm going to simplify this so it's easy for me to kind of um, find where the things that I'm working with. So first thing I'm going to do is go to these 3 little dots and click, and I'm going to rename this my reference, because this is the picture I'm going to refer to anytime I'm working. And then I'm going to title this one line work, because this is where all the line work for my design is going to go. And I'm just going to take this and drag the line work so it's above my reference. Now, before we go any further, we're going to simplify our reference so it's easier to see where the lines are. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to where it says layer. And in layer, I'm going to do this thing called the AI auto mask. What that's going to do is it's going to cut out the background from my image. And it takes a second and boom, it perfectly cuts it out. So once I have my auto mask cut out, it just gives me a clear version of my image. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my filter right here. Pardon me, not filter, adjustments. And you're going to scroll all the way down to where it says Posterize. What Posterize is going to do is it's going to give you just a couple of colors in your image. So I'm going to take this little button, click it, and I'm going to drag it just like this. And notice that this is 1 color, this is 2, and this is 3. You can see the number going higher every time I kind of raise the bar. You can go all the way to 15 or more colors, but then it just looks like a perfect picture. But for our design, we're just going to simplify it to about 2 colors. Once I have that, I'm just going to click apply, and that's going to be kind of like the thing that I'm working with. So I'm going to take this, just drag it down so she's kind of resting at the edge, and then I'm just going to lock this layer. When I lock this layer, it's not going to move. Once I have it locked, it's not going to, I can touch it and nothing's going to happen. The last thing I'm going to do before I actually start drawing on it is lower my transparency. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to scroll down so that I can see through my picture a little bit more. So I have those things set up, and now it's time to move on to actually making it. So now when we go to actually draw, we're going to go over here to the side panel all the way on the left, and we're going to go to the shape tool. When you click on the shape tool, you're going to get a couple different options. You're going to have design and draw. The tool that we're looking for is draw. So you're going to click on draw. Once you do that, it's going to give you a bunch more options that you can kind of choose from. The one that we want to work with is the line, because we're going to be making a line all around this image. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to go down here to my color picker, and I'm going to choose the color black for my line. I'm just going to keep it simple and keep it black. And then I'm going to zoom in. Right over here is how you zoom into your image by clicking. You can also just move it around this way. And I'm just going to start when I'm making my line by clicking and holding it, and I drag it as far as I want. Then I let go. Now, what a lot of people tend to do is they move this and then they start going again. Don't do that. When you click it and you let go, don't move the line again. Just click one more time and just keep on going. So don't move this cursor before you click a second time. The reason why you want to keep that in mind is because you want your lines to stay connected. And if you make spaces, when you go to actually fill this in, it's not going to fill correctly. It's going to spill out into the rest of your image. So when you're doing your designs, be sure to click and don't move your cursor. Just go from edge to edge. Don't make any spaces in between like this, because you're going to have to go back and close them anyway. So you're going to take time to just knock this part out and do an outline for your whole design. And eventually, once you do the whole thing and cover the whole thing, you'll probably get to something that might look like, let me see if I can find my last one, this right here. So eventually your design will end up looking something like this. And this is like a more full-on version of my design. So if I raise the transparency, there's my face. But when I lower it all the way down, even take out the picture, I have the beginnings of like my drawing and my line work. So that's kind of like the whole process of doing this. You're just building shapes on top of your reference image over and over again until you get it exactly the way that you want it. And then once you get it to the way that you want it, we're going to start to fill. So this is part one. Just get the lines down, get the design down in the face, get all the details. And then on part two, we're going to talk about filling the actual image. So I hope that's helpful.